Where am I?
Thank you. As you've already subscribed, make sure the little notification bell's getting tapped as well.
No, just pressed once. Not like just.
Oh, no, just keep going.
Like on.
It'll ring soon.
Don't keep ringing the bell. Just turn it on.
Just tap it. Okay, gently, just press. Yeah,
It's getting tapped. I'm thinking like over.
No.
Has been tapped.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Does that work better for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. Red mate.
Red mate.
Got a bit of red mate today.
I'm Ant.
I'm Chris. Due to popular success, been requested, a bit of a comeback. We're going to do a bit of pick one, flick one.
Back to our roots.
Yeah, back to the OGs. So, Ant's going to be in the hot seat. I'm going to be in the...
Cold seat.
The cold seat, yeah. the question seat. We're going to be firing away. Make sure you jump in with your thoughts. So, getting into this one then, finally. And kicking things off. Pick one, flick one. Have a long career, achieving record amount of goals scored, but it's trophyless. Or a short, but highly successful career, winning lots of titles.
How short is short?
Like a 3-year, come in, get it done, you're out.
Initially, I thought this was going to be real easy. You'd just go trophies, but I would actually go a prolonged career. I just think, like,
You go on the Harry Kane route over
Hey, Harry Kane's living the life. In terms of, like, having a career playing football, like, I think if you're a professional footballer for, 15, 20 years, that's great. Like, if you're doing something you love for that long, I'll value that then, be like, those 2 years were the best of my life. Well, I was like, that was 2 years. Whereas, if you've got a long career, if you're Harry Kane, you've set, the goal record, you've lived your life as a professional footballer, that's still a decent career. And as long as you're happy to live with that yourself, I just think you're living the life. That's kind of like a lifestyle. The guy who's had a 3-year career, he's now looking for something else to do with his time. Harry Kane's still there just playing football, just loving himself.
Banging goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair one. Would you rather be the best player...
I don't understand the question.
Yeah. Can you please repeat the question?
In English, though.
Would you rather be... Fucking hell.
Do I need to read?
Yeah, you're going to have to read this one because I clearly can't say it. Would you rather be the best paid player in the lowest ranked team in the league or the lowest paid player in the best ranked team in the league?
Lowest paid in the best ranked team.
Yeah, okay.
I think in reality, like, that's obviously still going to be a decent amount of money. Like, if you're in the winning team, the guy getting paid the least is probably still getting a decent amount. Like,
yeah.
Like, who's getting paid the least at City right now?
I guess on the flip side of that, the guy getting the least at City probably never plays, but the guy getting the most at...
Oh, so now we're looking at game time.
Well, no,
I'm
thinking... if you think about it logically, the guy getting the least is likely getting the least game time. You're not going to pay...
Yeah, no, good point. Because I even thought, like, if you're in the best team, you're probably just happy to be winning. Like, you're not really like, oh, God, I'm not getting... But, like, obviously, you're going to be getting paid pretty well. Obviously not the best in the team, you're the lowest in the team, but it's still going to be decent.
Yeah, but Scott Carson has never played a game.
So maybe, maybe I'll change it then, because you raised a good point. Because the lowest, like, I was thinking lowest paid, but you're still getting, like, what
comes with that?
Yeah, I assumed you're still playing regularly, but you're just there, like, like, feeling like some kind of loser or something. But
some kind of loser.
That's what they look like.
Or just across the board.
I'm changing to...
some kind of loser.
I was the loser originally. But now, highest paid in the lowest team. Because then, like you said, that means your first name on the team sheet, most likely, and you're getting maximum game time. You're obviously a pretty good player. You might be the best top goal scorer on the team or whatever. And then the next season, you get a move to a bigger club.
Would you rather have the Premier League record for the most goals scored or the Premier League record for the most league titles? So think on this one. We got like an Alan Shearer or a Ryan Giggs.
I'm going league titles.
You okay?
Yeah. I think that's like...
Does anyone ever talk about Ryan Giggs on the level that they talk about Alan Shearer though? Alan Shearer, and I'm not discrediting Ryan Giggs at all. Amazing player, obviously, to have that longevity and that success. But if we talk about all-time Premier League 11s, there's not too many people that say no to Alan Shearer. but there's quite a few that would say no to Ryan Giggs.
Yeah.
He could make it in for some people, so I'm not saying that he wouldn't. But do you know where I'm going with this?
Yeah, I think the nature of Alan Shearer's record is like one of the greatest individual records you can set. And like most goals, like a game of football where the intention is to score goals, this guy has scored the most. That's like the 100 meters of the Olympics. Like that is the record.
Yeah. And you're saying you don't want that. You want the league title.
No, what I'm saying is that's like the individual award. So if you're describing someone as a good player, then that's like the highest you can achieve. That's almost like similar to like a Ballon d'Or or like the player of the season. Whereas Giggs' record of most titles, he needs a whole team to do that. So that's not something you can have a huge amount of control in. Like, obviously, you need to be a good player to get into a winning team and to win a title, but you can't just rock up and be like, okay, this guy's the next best thing. He's the best player ever. He's Messi now. Therefore, he's going to set the record for most league titles. Like, the best player can kind of go anywhere and might not set that record. Whereas if you've got, like, Alan Shearer, someone who just scores goals on goals on goals, then he probably could play for a number of teams, which he did, and just score goals and set that record. So I think it's easier to compare that and go, this guy scores goals, can he compare with this? Whereas Ryan Giggs has got a team achievement. And I guess in the Premier League where United was so dominant, you're not saying, oh, that's down to Ryan Giggs. Like, that's like so many years of players coming in and out. So yeah, it's kind of less so on him. He's like one of 11 or even more than that because of the whole squad. But yeah, I think that if you retire with all those Premier League medals, for me, I think that would be something a bit better. Whereas now, I don't know where I'm going now.
You picked the wrong one anyway. It should have been record goals, I think.
You reckon?
I mean, going off the fact that Alan Shearer actually won a league title, so we can tick that box.
But, okay, even if you compare...
Everyone talks, we've spoken before about Haaland's got to get here. Nobody's necessarily saying, who's going to catch Ryan Giggs?
No, because I don't think that's even like something you can expect someone to do because they can't do it themselves. Like a player, you could expect them, you need to do this, you'll score more goals. But you can't be like, come on, mate, get up. We need more Premier Leagues out of you. Like, it's a whole team thing. So I think it's just like easier to compare. I think if you compare someone like Harry Kane, who we've said in the past, we believe he probably will break Alan Shearer's record if everything goes as planned. But then if you compare like a Harry Kane to even like a Jordan Henderson, both play for England. I was going to say captain of their clubs, but Kane's not. At times,
vice captain.
Yeah.
A leadership role.
Yeah. Who's had the better career there already? And do you reckon Kane would actually give up all his goals for a Premier League title?
Yeah, good question.
I think so. Because even like 1-0 is huge. Obviously, like when you start comparing 2-3 and 3-4, maybe there's less so, but every player wants a Premier League title. And I think if you've got a couple, that's a better career than if you've just like been a pretty decent player in a pretty average team, scoring a lot of goals, but every season.
But I don't think an average player is going to have the record amount of goals.
Oh, no way. No, it takes a good player, but it's like you can't just expect a player to win the Premier League and say, he's no good unless he does that, because not only does he need to be good, he needs to be surrounded by players who are just as good in order to win the Premier League. So the reason why people don't talk about the Ryan Giggs one as much is because you can't. It's not like a baseline. If this guy's any good, he'll break Giggs' record. It's because it's a team. It's just going to show you that the team has had so much dominance. Yeah. Like the same way United were just like the dominant team for so long. Like maybe now we might be looking at like a City period, but even still it needs to go on for another 10, 15, 20 years before we can say that. And even still, like I'm not going to say Giggs is the best player, but it's just probably harder to do because like I said, it's a team kind of achievement or team goal.
Pick one, flick one. Lose every final you ever play in or never make the final at all.
Oh, they're so depressing, both of those. Oh, man.
Making you think of like the negative scenarios.
Yeah, I know, because even like where you have like a season where you like lose a lot of games.
But sorry to interrupt, but I just think like how much stick did Liverpool get for losing to Madrid in the final from all of these teams that never made it? And they almost get off scot-free of like, United fans being like, all the Evertonians being like, Liverpool... Real Madrid, It's like, yeah, but we made it. Like,
yeah, I have to
you've never been close.
Like rival fans are so pleased when you lose a final, and I just think, at the start of the season, if you offered to someone, hey, look, you can get to the final, but you're not going to win, or you can get knocked out like embarrassingly in the group stage. Like, what would you rather? You probably would rather progress. Like, you want to get as far as you can. Like, it's so devastating to be so close and fall one short right at the end. But like, you've now finished second, and someone who's finished like down the list, like you finished like 30th, really, based on like points or whatever. Like, they're now getting so much joy. So I do question that, but it is so like emotionally heartbreaking when you lose a final. Like, it is really tough to take. So it's crazy that everyone else, kind of is getting so much joy out of it, because you're like, oh, well, we did much better than you. You're just laughing that we fell one short.
Yes, yeah. But the feeling of falling one short is almost worse than falling 20 places.
Yeah, because the expectation goes up and it's such a big occasion. So it does suck to lose it. But if you're comparing a team that's made the final to a team that's not got out of the group or whatever, the team that's got to the final is clearly the better team. But
yeah.
Man, that question is so depressing.
It is a depressive question. Well, seeing as how you're incapable of answering, I'll answer my question.
Yeah, do you mind?
And I'll say I prefer to lose every final. Just based on a sporting level, you're doing something right by getting there.
Yeah.
If you're never making it, you're pretty much falling at the first hurdle. You've not done too much right.
Yeah, well, that kind of agrees with what I said. Like, you've done much better to get to the final. You just fallen one short. You're the second best team, essentially.
Yeah. Would you rather lose for the world to see or win in front of nobody?
So
you've made it to the World Cup final and you've lost the World Cup final, or you've won the League Cup in front of no fans.
Like COVID season, or like no one even knows?
No one knows about it. Like, Liverpool, and it's just like, what happened? Like, I can't remember. There's no record. Everyone knows you failed, or no one knows you succeeded.
No, I would choose to succeed, because I think for me, like, you've got that memory. I mean, if I'm a bit confused by the hypothetical, but if it definitely has happened,
your memory's really fine.
Where am I? If it definitely has happened,
sure,
in the hypothetical where no one knows about it, then I would be happy with that.
Yeah. I think you play to win, right? Irrespective of anyone watching.
Yeah. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, no one's watching, I'll just tank this one. Like, I will still be trying to win every time.
Yep.
And if I can remember doing it, then I'll be happy with my achievement.
Yeah.
That's just a weird question.
Yeah. Strap yourself in for this one. I think you're going to love this one.
It's a goalkeeper question, isn't it?
It's a goal, yeah. A goal. Would you rather be twice the height of Peter Crouch,
Jesus,
or half the height of Lionel Messi?
Twice the height of Peter Crouch?
Are you kidding me?
What? That's the only
You're like 4 meters tall.
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably not 2 meters tall, but like...
Yeah.
He's
2 meters.
What? Imagine getting clothes to fit.
Oh, I'm just thinking about... Wait, are you talking about football or just life?
Well, just on a pitch, all of a sudden you just grow or shrink. Like,
No, but
you got to live your life.
off the pitch, I'm just like 6 foot.
Yeah, just easy. Normal. Then just on the whoa.
Okay, I get you now.
You got to live your life twice the height of Peter Crouch, or you got to live your life.
Both would suck.
Both would be terrible. That's the idea.
Yeah, I'd go 4 meters. I reckon.
But at least you could get on if you're half the height of Messi, right?
Half the height of Messi?
Yeah. Like, we actually have people that tall in the world.
Where are they? in the world?
In the world.
Oh.
So we've got the world.
And there's people
in it. Nah, but how many 4
I
meter
just
tall
thought
people
you
see?
meant like you.
I meant when I asked the question.
Yeah,
double the height. Wow.
And all I was thinking was 4 meters headers.
I've got to admit though, that is a bad cross if you're getting on there.
No, but I'm 4 meters tall, so I'm saying like, guys, whip one in.
Whip one in, that's a bad cross, getting whipped 4 meters
No,
in.
but not if I'm 4 meters tall. That's a good cross.
Yeah, but for anyone else, like the percentage of that.
Yeah, but who's competing with me if I'm 4 meters tall?
Yeah, but they've got to hit you on the dot.
Yeah, but I'll have like Van Dijk marking me, I'll be like, oh, see the little fella?
Bend over, see you later.
Yeah, but don't even waste your time with this one. Boom. Yeah, I'd go 4 meters.
No.
You'd be like the tallest guy. I'd even actually, forget football, I'm going straight to the NBA. I'm 4 meters tall.
So Peter Crouch, lock it in, double the height.
Double Peter.
Yeah, easy.
Double Crouch.
Cool. It's the Champions League final. Would you rather be man of the match on the losing side or not come off the bench on the winning team? As the goalkeeper?
Off the bench, eh? No, not. So you don't play the final.
You're like not coming off the bench. To clarify, it's the Champions League final. You've been named on the bench and you don't come off. Or you can be man of the match but lose.
I'm not coming off the bench. In terms of like when you win a Premier League medal, I think you only need to play 5 games. And I would still say for those 5 players, or not 5 players, those players who have only played 5 games, they've still contributed. It's 38 game season. If you play 1 game, you score 1 goal. Whatever you do, you've contributed to the season, and even if it's turned a draw to a win or a loss to a draw, whatever it might be, they can easily say, and without anyone disputing, they have contributed to the team.
Yeah.
And if I played a Champions League campaign, and I mean, you've not obviously specified, but if you've played in a number of those games...
All right, let's make it interesting then. You've been named on the bench for
every single
game of the Champions League run-in, all the way to the final. You've not made a single appearance. However, you've been named in the squad. You don't come off the bench for the final, or you play all of the games all the way through, man of the match in all of the games. You get to the final and you lose. Man of the match performance.
This is like Rhian Brewster.
I was thinking him.
He's there getting his hair cut with his medal.
He's like Champions League.
He's got the medal there without playing a minute. And
Daniel Sturridge? I don't know if he came on for Chelsea.
Oh, I couldn't tell you for Chelsea. I was going to say he definitely played for Liverpool when we won it.
In the final?
Oh, not the final, but I mean, like Brewster didn't play
at all.
any minute in the whole campaign, but he's getting a haircut with his medal around his neck.
Yeah.
And I think, when he was doing that, he was feeling a lot better than the other guy on the other team who got man of the match.
Yeah, but getting all the way to the final. Man of the match performances all the way through?
Oh, if I'm trying to isolate those events, if you really wanted to dig into it, you could be like, okay, you're man of the match at all events. Next season, you might get a move, or your team might then win it, or you might try to look on the positive side. But if you just isolate those 2 events, one guy is surrounded by a team that's been winning and doing well, and then they win the final. Like, imagine how great everyone's feeling. And you've been there, even when I talk about contributing, they've been there in training, they've been there in the gym, involved in the culture and helping other guys out. Like, these small things people might look past because they don't get on the pitch, but the reason why like Liverpool might keep someone like Milner around is just because of the influence that he might have on the team and the squad behind the scenes. Liverpool of late have got to a lot of finals and lost, and it's like very depressing. And I even think that, if you've got an option there to win and you've had a lot less involvement, you're still winning. Playing and doing so well and losing, it kind of hurts a lot. So I would just try to avoid that.
You've gone full Klopp on us there, haven't you?
With what? Oh,
everyone gets a medal. Everyone gets a medal.
Yeah. They all contribute.
So pick one, flick one. You've got to wear a pair of boots that are 1 size too small, or you've got to wear a pair of boots that are 2 sizes too big.
1 size too small.
Blisters on your
stretch them out. You stretch them out.
All right, 2 sizes too small, 3 sizes too big.
You just want me to wear boots that are too big for me.
Trying to guide you all.
Oh, but 2.
No, it was too
small. And you're like, all right. 3 sizes too small, 4 sizes too... You're like, I'm just going to keep dropping it until you go too big. Like, what do you want?
You're wearing size 17s.
You're not wearing any boots.
You're doing the old tape the studs to your foot.
Oh, don't start me with the tape. What is it? You've changed the question.
Because your answer was too quick. I didn't appreciate how quickly you answered the question with limited thought.
I'm sorry.
2 sizes too small, so that...
in my head, you say blister. I think you get worse blisters when they're too big because your foot is moving around.
Okay, yeah, agreed. But you quickly jump to the small category. So I'm now thinking, what is the maximum or the minimum size that you could stretch?
If you said 1 too small, 1 too big, I still would have gone small. But you said 1 small, 2 big.
Yeah, because
so
I think you could.
Small.
I think because that's why. Anyway, you've answered it all good. Let's move on.
Like you worded it as if like.
What are you doing? 1 size too small, 2 sizes too big?
Definitely too small.
Good. Moving on. You're going to pick one, flick one between a daytime kickoff and a nighttime kickoff.
I mean, I've not got a huge preference, but the few times I've played at nights, I don't know if it's because I would do it less, But the night just feels a bit kind of more special, like under the floodlights. I know recently, like having played at night time, it felt like more people were kind of able to come down and watch, and it like managed to draw a bigger crowd, and that was pretty good. I don't know. I mean, I'm not too fussed to go either way on that one, to tell you the truth. Like playing in the daytime, it's nice. Like for me, it'd be more about like weather that I would have a huge preference over. But playing at night feels kind of cool. But yeah, again, that's because I do a lot less. So that's like the novelty. Wow, would you have a preference?
I'd probably go nighttime kickoff as well. I like that one. You got any ones? That's kind of all I had. Any you can think of based off questions I just asked?
I've got one quick one. Would you rather boots that are 4 sizes too big, or you don't wear boots at all?
Boots that are 4 sizes too big, surely.
How about you're wearing like clown shoes, like they're ridiculously big? They're 4 meter tall.
No, you're gonna have to go the other way now, bare feet.
I'd just be panicking.
Yeah, but you couldn't play in clown shoes. Like it's impossible. And bare feet, like it's doable. It could potentially be painful and hazardous, but
and you'll be slipping.
Yeah, but it'd be doable. It's definitely better to go barefoot than clown shoes.
It is, but I'll be terrified of someone coming in for a challenge and you're there in bed, like broken.
Yeah, but you're terrified anyway, so it doesn't really matter. You're a loser. All right, guys, that was our quick pick one, flick one. Not so quick in the end of some of Anthony's answers. Make sure you hit that little subscribe button. Tap nicely once on the bell notifications. That'll get you in on the Red Mate content.
Click us a like. Let us know your answers to any of those questions if you agree or disagree with me or Chris. Just let us know your thoughts.
Cool, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.